with my buddy Dash for this episode of Double Take. Dave, I just said joined by Dash, but we're joined by Dash
Talking
and
in
Dave.
the third person. That's
Third person.
weird.
The way you feel.
Hey. Kevin, you're only at 4%. You said you're probably at 3 now, so let's get right into it. I don't know. You feeling like shit. We understand. What's going on over there?
It's a great question. First of all, Dave, Dash, good to see you guys. Hope you had a good experience on Twitch. Good to talk with you. Look, I mean, it's hard to say anything new that hasn't been said many times. We have players out there that don't deserve to wear the shirt. We have a coach that's not getting the best out of the team. We don't have a system. There are clear problems with our management and our fan base, which throughout all of this, what was the Dave? You have the shirt up, I think, on your wall, right?
Which one? Like this year's one?
The Uniti, Siamo Uniti, right?
Oh yeah,
Something
Dash,
like that.
Dash, yeah, Unity fino alla fine.
Yep. That one.
It's all about
He's
being
like that one.
Yeah, sorry.
Let it out, Dave. Let it out.
Yeah, but
Kevin.
it's that we all have to be united, right? And I think anybody watching on TV could have heard a pin drop in that stadium in the first half.
It was so quiet.
And if people weren't following what's going on, we've actually Dash and I put together a good segment probably about a couple of months ago around some of the challenges with the Ultras and Curva Sud with the management.
Yeah.
And after everything that's happened these last couple of weeks, it's only gotten worse. And there was a first half protest staged where some of the more prominent members from the Ultra group were outside the stadium. It was a lot of fun, actually. A lot of singing, all the flags, banners. They were handing out printed paper that was explaining the position, which essentially nets out to that they want freedom to be able to chant and support the team in the right way, and that it's ridiculous that anything that they want to bring in somehow gets tied to some political stance or something that's viewed as not being acceptable, which they think is just a huge stretch, and all of the visiting fans can come in with whatever they want: drums, flares, megaphones, banners, flags.
That's the part that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. So it's we're treating our fan base worse than we allow the visiting fans. So then right after halftime, you had a lot of the members enter the stadium again, and then you probably noticed things were a little bit more vocal, but probably more than half of the chants were actually directed at the management and the Italian league itself. There were calls for just give us more respect, like we are Juve, directed right at the management. So look, a lot of stuff has to change. I mean, I know the trend right now is obviously for not just the last couple of days, weeks, months, is the whole Allegri out train. And while I find it hard to support keeping him around, that's not the only thing that needs to change. There's a lot that has to go into rectifying this back and giving us some joy out of the club we love. And I mean, it kind of sucks. Like, I'm sitting on a bus here with a bunch of people who, some of them flew thousands of miles to come see this, and it's their first Juve game, and everybody has their background story on how they became a fan, right? And it's great connecting with people and hearing how we came to share the same passion, and to have them come and kind of see this, it makes me feel sorry. Like, it's it's not what they expect or want to see, and I'll just leave it at that.
It's quiet on that bus.
Yeah, I was one of the first ones back. I couldn't stay in
Okay.
the stadium anymore.
So it's not
we'll
that there's no
probably-
people there, or there are no people there.
No,
just...
it was a good turnout. Maurizio and the Around Turn crew. There were probably about 50 folks, so it was a
nice.
really, really, really good turnout. So I think people are just kind of straggling back. Yeah, the people that are here are dead silent, as you can imagine.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, it's hard to find the words right now, I find, to really put it into a cohesive thought that makes any sense. It's just, at this point, it's all just disappointment. You expected at least something, prove something. But I think today we proved that we're done. That we're just done with this season altogether. We've moved on already.
And you could see it in the body language.
Oh.
I think when people had the ball, there was some willingness, I think, to try to be proactive and go for it, even though we had no ideas. I don't think Allegri provides any meaningful coaching or direction on how we finish off attacking movements. We just get up there and pass it back and forth across the 18-yard box from left side to right side. No one knows how to cross it in or how to make that final attacking play. We can get the possession up there, and then there's nothing. But the body language, right? When people lost the ball, not rushing back, losing it, and not really caring too much. You can see they're just deflated. And I think Di Maria kind of...
He was so bad today.
Yeah, he was awful. And when he got called off, you just knew, he's just done. He's done. And we'll never see him again, most likely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even at halftime in the tunnel, the looks, you can tell at that point they were done. It's whatever. It's disgusting. What can I say? It's bad.
Yeah. The only thing that puts a half smile on my face from that game was watching Illing Jr. try and do something. It was the only mild bright spot in that second half.
Yeah, Chiesa tried. He always gets double marked though. He takes on too much, and
yeah, I mean the guy's got one. Somebody's got to that. That's where the coach comes in, right? We know how much talent he has, but he's just got one gear. He just gets it, and it's just just go as fast as he possibly can, and that works sometimes. But he beats 2 or 3 guys, and then just runs out of gas or gets tripped up.
Or he's in too deep, and that's the other problem. The cross. I mean, crosses go nowhere. There's nobody there even to receive them.
Yeah, and Kostic was a disaster in the first half. His crosses were shit. He's just been a totally different player the last 2 or 3 months.
Oh, Kevin, you have a fan here. Jack Havel saying, "Hey, Kevin."
Jack. Yeah.
Oh, Conte. So was that confirmed, Conte at the stadium?
I didn't see any. First of all, Jack, good to see you. Hope everything's well at home. I know I saw a few things. I didn't see him. I didn't see any pictures. So it would be cool if anybody knows where they saw them. I'd be curious. I'm sure it'll pop up.
Or it's just a stupid rumor. Somebody just started. Hey,
come
Conte,
on.
they're looking for a
Say,
job.
if Conte was there, he would have made his presence known that he was there.
I feel like we would have known.
I mean, Conte's brother runs a nightclub in Turin. He still has a family house here. He's clearly not working right now, so
yeah,
he's at the strip club.
He has any excuse to just be here.
Yeah, I was gonna say Conte's at the strip club.
Of running the strip club, more likely. Trying to make some
He's
extra cash.
Hey, I need you over here.
Well, he is good with the young ones, getting them to perform above their level.
Yeah, he's very good at increasing stamina.
Kevin, it's a dick joke. It's okay. You can laugh. Oh man, Jeremiah here saying it's official. We're in a crisis. The cleanup starts with max outs.
No, the cleanup starts with hiring a sporting
Yeah,
director.
that's really where the cleanup starts, is by fixing your management.
Because the thing is how stupid is that? Let's look at it logically. How stupid is it if we hire Tudor without even hiring a sporting director, and then they hire a sporting director, and he's like, I don't want Tudor. Why? Like, it's just, guys, upper management needs to sort its stuff out. Like, to be honest with you, Allegri's the last thing on my mind right now.
Yeah.
So think of it this way: if we get Guntoli, who's number 1 on the list, nothing's going to be made official until after next Sunday, after the league is actually finished. Napoli goes through all the Scudetto celebrations, all official, blah blah blah. Only then will that happen, and only then will everything else happen, like max out or maybe max. Who knows? I mean, just
and then we're still going to be waiting for the salary maneuver penalties to come from that.
June 15th, I think it is.
Anything that FIFA or UEFA does against us, even if by some miracle we still qualify for the Europa League, we're still gonna UEFA is still gonna ban us anyway. So like we have to go through all of that before anything happens to the coach. Dave, I'm with you 100% on that. Like I don't want Allegri coaching this team, but he's not the first and only thing that needs to be changed.
Yeah, it starts from the top down.
I don't. Who keeps saying Allegri has like say in who chooses the sporting director?
And he came out. No, that's not
not true at all.
Yeah, that's bullshit news from the bullshit newspapers. Basically, it was taken completely out of context, and no, it's just not true.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no. I think it was from what the Republic one, the French
Republica.
One?
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's trash. It's trash.
Yeah, that there's no way in hell that Allegri trumps. I mean, if that's the case, then what the hell is Calvo doing as a board member?
Yeah.
Because like the thing is like, say that we get the recently fired Bayern Munich sporting director, or say that we get Giuntoli. If one of those guys decides to say, "Hey, look, Allegri, you got to go. You got to go. That's it. I'm fine with it. I have no issues with it."
So
it's
people.
Just like,
sorry. No, finish here.
But the thing is like this, because like for example, with Paredes and Di Maria and Pogba, I said, "Hey, those are Allegri's guys. He gets them. All right. You get them as guys. If they do terrible, it's on him." Paredes was kind of meh, if not bleh. Di Maria, in my opinion, was an absolute dumpster fire outside of 2 or 3 games. And then Pogba, I think it does like
that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. So
I
mean that is the one thing where it's just kind of like, no, like that's on him. Like I have to say that. Like I have to be honest and say that is on him. And okay, so Football Italia, what sort? Football Italia pings sources from other newspapers as well. Like Football Italia is not an actual like.
Oh
newspaper.
yeah. Okay, so basically, this is what Football Italia is. They take it's a website for old people that don't know how to use Twitter, and they just summarize what Twitter says in a news article for people that are still living in 2004. That's all that site is. It's a great site to go to just like catch up on whatever the rumors are, but by no means believe 100% what is going on.
No, but
their opinion pieces are trash. Their opinion pieces are trash.
Oh man, yeah, don't.
No.
And to people here, Allegri isn't going anywhere. He's leading Juve now that there's no long-term plan in office. That's why Elkin has stepped in. And we've seen that with the Ferrari team. He will step in if need be. Okay, Kevin, you still holding on to the battery?
Yeah, it's at 2.
At 2.
A really good battery.
Yeah, jeez. Well, is there before you completely lose your power there, is there any last comments or thoughts you want to share?
Nothing beyond, I think, what's already been said, and I'll leave it at that. I mean, for those of you, I know people who was just there, and among many others, just long-term supporters of what this team has been trying to do on YouTube, and thanks for everything that you've done throughout the season. kind of my contributions to how YouTube progresses over the next couple of months are limited since there won't be home matches. But it's been a pleasure to be a part of it this season. And Dave and Dash, I'll miss these chats.
Yeah, for sure.
see.
Hopefully again next season, of course. But yeah, thanks again for joining us. It's starting to get loud there as well. You're underway, so we'll let you go. Kevin, thank you. Forza Juve.
Yeah. Catch you guys later. Forza Juve.
See you, Kevin.
All right, and Artie, if you want to get into the whole F1 thing, I love this. Oh, Ferrari is shit. Okay, first of all, it's like Napoli this year that they just had an amazing season where Red Bull is just running away with the new rules, and Ferrari came in second last year. And yes, they made a lot of screw-ups, and they still came in second. Kind of like how Juve, on paper, is still in second despite completely screwing everything up. So when you can come in second place and be at your worst, no vision. Okay. Part of the problems that Elkin put his trust, because it's not his job to be running the teams. But when the men that are supposed to be running, and women in our case, aren't doing their job and they get fired or they quit, whatever, then yes, he has to come and step in and fill that hole. But man, Artie, you just come in with these like such single-minded, like, this is my take. Like, think wider. Like, yeah, has Ferrari screwed up? Yes. Has Juventus screwed up? Yes. Has Elkin come in to try to right the ship? Yes, and that's what he's doing. Has it been perfect? No, because you have to put things into motion that take years. Years. We screwed up the rebuild, and that is if you listen to us back when we were on that other shit channel, we fucking went on about it then, about how the rebuild, everyone's saying 3 years, and I immediately called bullshit. Like, we're not in a rebuild. A rebuild needs stability. So now we have this whole financial thing. The board has quit. They're gone. Elkin steps in, and now the rebuild should. I say should because it hasn't actually started yet. Now the rebuild should be started because Elkin has had enough, and he said, screw it. You guys are gone. I'm getting somebody new, putting him in charge, and we're going from there. We'll see what happens. But don't just look at 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, and I need to see who's at the top in management because it's just I don't want to talk about coaches. I really don't because it means nothing.
For Conte. You're not getting Conte.
The thing is, it's like I get it. We can have like the dialogue and stuff like that, but to be honest with you, I need to see what goes up top.
Mm-hmm.
I really do because it's. There's no sense to it because, like, for example, we can talk about Conte with Conte. Okay, great. Or, like, for example, Italiano or X, Y, and Z. Like, okay, great. Is the sporting director going to get them what they need? Or does the sport... Because the thing is your sporting director and your coach have to mesh properly. Or you're going to get an Arriva Bene Cherubini Allegri project. Because we'll be honest. Agnelli hired Allegri. And then Cherubini and Arriva Bene didn't. So I'm pretty sure you could tell from the last 2 transfer windows. Wasn't really the greatest or the best. And again, Arriva Bene and Cherubini were more so focusing on slashing the wage bill more than actually doing anything. So it's a mess. It really is because the thing is we need to have something where we can figure out, okay, who's in charge and where do we want to go?
Yeah. What do you think about him disregarding UEFA? Apparently we're going ahead with the Super League. I think that news as well is pretty loose.
And then you also have the Sheffrin where he's like, well, if you guys do this, then, if you guys apologize for it, I'll let you guys off easily,
and he makes news out of nothing. He's a merchant as well. He's like Barella, just trying to sell dives.
And the thing is, it's like, I can't stand how UEFA has that thing. It's and then Giovanni coming in from Twitch saying, sorry for being late, made some pizza.
Excused. You are excused.
Well excused. No issues with that. The thing is, it's like, I personally don't mind it. Like the UEFA to me is an absolute joke.
Yeah,
It
it's
really
pretty
is.
embarrassing.
It's a joke. Like, how many times have we been screwed by UEFA? Like, I still have that Dani Alves like Batista bombing Pogba in the box in the final still in the back of my head. And the thing is, it's like you look at the money and you look at the distribution of wealth. What does UEFA do? They're just
They
party
organize
planners.
tournament. They're tournament organizers. Which, let's be honest, you could probably ask ChatGPT, "Hey, these are the teams. Figure it out. This is the structure.
Schedule these matches
Go."
for me.
And they probably do a better job of it.
Like the thing is, in the Super League more so was it's a sense to get clubs to build clubs up financially to make them again more competitive in the future. Because going off of what A22 dropped on the group stages and how it worked was it was a progressional system. And you look at it and kind of how it gets built in, and it was one of those things where you start off slow, but you have the opportunity to get built up all the way.
And already asking, have you seen the Super League series on Apple TV Plus? It's crazy one-sided. It makes you fall in love with Chefrin. No, because Apple is basically the same person as Chefrin. Just horrible.
I don't have Apple. I don't. I mean, we don't like Apple on this channel. I'm not gonna lie with you. Like, we're not big fans of Apple.
They are UEFA. Like that. It's the same sort of thing. Like, we're gonna imagine this ideal world and just lie to you out of our teeth about how amazing it is to the point that you believe it. It's very Hitler-esque, right? You tell a lie often enough, it becomes the truth. So they just sell this lie to people and overcharge them for it. And they're just like, they suck off the teat of this shit. And that's what UEFA's doing. Like, look at the, oh man, remember that YouTube rip we did? That slam of that Sky Sports guy? And how he was just like hating on the Super League and how one-sided and ridiculous it was, because that's the bullshit that gets fed, right? And Apple TV, I mean, if you look at their political alignments, what type of rhetoric that they kind of go with, you can see where they align. It's funny, because the liberal, I mean, I've been political, but the liberal media, in an attempt to be so liberal, they become conservative. If it makes sense.
Giovanni's saying there's a lot of established players on Juve, obviously, but do you think there's a younger player that takes the next step in a couple of years? I think Barberi could take a step. I think Illing could take a step.
Yeah.
Moretti could take a step after he beefs up a little bit because he is.
Fagioli still has more to give.
Fagioli still has room to grow. Benanachea has room to grow. Hoyson has room to grow. Yildiz has. There's 7 or 8 players that we have in our youth system that can really, really go for it. I disagree. I believe it's Man City and Real. And Real. I don't think
Real, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think PSG. I don't think
they're falling
PSG's
apart from the inside.
Yeah, I don't think PSG is going to be there.
All right, Colo, we didn't catch his post match. Could you fill us in?
Yeah, Colo, we went and ate food in our misery. Okay. Honestly, because the thing is, it's like there's not really any value when you look at like at this point of the season, and especially after this result. I don't want to hear him talk. I don't because it's like, oh, hey, you know, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. It's like, all right, you're checked out. Your players are checked out. Like we got it today. I have no idea. Like we were calling this on Twitch and I was just bored out of my mind.
You were looking at your phone the whole fucking match.
I was trying to read Twitter.
Asshole.
Trying to read Twitter.
Reading Twitter as I'm there like,
I'm like seeing if there's any good news. I was like, yeah, that's how much I hated myself during that game. I was like reading Twitter to see. I'm like, okay, cool. Is there any news or anything that's like worth talking about now?
Nothing. Here's a good question. How many of our star players do you see leaving the Star this summer? The star players in quotes. Vlahovic is gone.
100%. I think he's done.
Di Maria Rabiot's gone.
Paredes.
Yes. Out of here. I think
Milik is gone. I don't think Milik gets re-signed.
He gets redeemed and sold for a small profit.
From what I heard, so allegedly,
Lazio,
yes. I was just about to say that. So allegedly, they're going to use Milik to send him to Lazio for SMS. Allegedly.
That's still, I don't know.
It's Football Italia news.
Oh
But
man,
I think
yeah.
we're out. Quadrado, because again, contract renewal for Quadrado isn't even confirmed yet. So Quadrado's technically, this was his last home game that he played.
I don't know. Apparently, he's going to take reduced wages.
It's Football Italia. Just kidding.
Oh, no, but that's the thing. So Sandro apparently had the auto renewal. There still has not been clear news on what's going on with Sandro.
Yeah, Juve haven't even announced it officially either.
Yeah,
Because usually
Quadrado's up in the air.
when there's players that are coming back, Juve usually announces it officially.
Yeah. But again, why? If you don't have a sporting director or any of that nonsense in place, or you don't know, it's June 15th. We'll find out again what's going on in this legal case. We just don't know. Like we might play in the Conference League next year and get what, like 10 million for doing it, but
get a high five.
Yeah, spank on the ass.
Good job, buddy.
But then we might not at all play Europe.
I honestly, to be honest with you, I don't really care about playing in Europe next season.
We got it. It might be. I mean, it's hard because of the money, but blessing in disguise, perhaps, where we can just
I mean,
go
like
back to basics.
I'm saying if we get banned. Like I'm saying, if we get banned from playing in Europe, I really don't care.
Yeah, I'm just saying it could be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, because you'll still get the money. It's just you won't be able to play in Europe. Like
the way I'm looking at it,
are you talking about like revenue from actually playing in Europe? Or are you talking about revenue from
from playing in Europe, ticket sales, just
or like for example, placement finish. And then we don't know, because the thing is, like, did Juve officially announce?
They never did officially announce, but I think it was repeated by enough proper sources.
Romeo Agresti and them, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, again, Football Italia does report proper news as well. They just report all the news. So you really have to check the sources where they're getting it from, right? So yes, there are things. That's why I said you can't like completely write off Football Italia. They're just regurgitating.
They're like, for example, if we had a thing on our Discord server that would take all of the news and then just relay it. That's pretty much what Football Italia is. KB does not want to stick with Allegri because don't raise expectations. Colo saying qualified teams can reject the Conference League if they want. Participation isn't mandatory.
Oh, I didn't know. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, because we're not actually in the official tournament. We're in qualification. So we're not even like full-blown qualified.
Yeah, no, well, that'll be interesting to see one way or the other how that turns out.
Yeah, it's just the thing that it's like when I look at it, because I think we're all in agreement the team needs a refit, a complete regut.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think playing in multiple competitions is a good thing.
No, not when you're trying to redefine yourself. I think it's proper to take it easy. So I'm going to bring up the squad here. Allegri, in or out?
I think he's done.
Tech?
I think he's gone.
I think so too.
I think they sell him this summer.
He's at $7 million a year. They sell him, cash in. Okay, Mattia Perin.
He gets promoted to first goalkeeper.
Yeah, and Pinso.
I think he's number 2. And then they pull someone from the under 23s as number 3.
Perhaps. Yeah, or get him really cheap. Like, I don't know if they'll go for Carnesecchi. It doesn't make sense.
I think they get him and they loan him out.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Because I don't see the it doesn't make sense if you have a Golini or Carnesecchi or whoever, like a promising young goalkeeper, sit behind Perin. Unless Perin, which he hasn't really shown to be very injury prone. He's been a starter for Genoa forever. So
no, I think he's good to go.
Yeah, I think he's going to be your main play number 1. Pensilio is going to be your number 2, and then maybe a Carnesecchi or someone gets loaned back out, and then they pull in a youth goalkeeper. Let's go to defenders. Okay, so
Bonucci stays on for the rest. He stays on for another year.
Retires next year.
You just got to hold that one out, man.
I know. Quadrado, I think he's gone. Despite the contract renewals, I think he's gone. I don't see him staying. Sandro allegedly triggered his auto renewal, so I don't think he's going anywhere.
1 more year. And this is I think it was Misak that was saying, we've all kind of said it, next year is really when the true reset happens, when you get rid of these guys. out of contract. Danilo stays.
Yeah, Danilo stays.
Kostic, I don't
Kostic.
see. I mean, he's
Do we
sort
sell
of
him?
he's sort of a system player, so he depends on
A
our
back
coach
three.
essentially.
Yeah. Kostic is I would say is a luxury. I think he gets sold if the coach doesn't use him, if the new coach doesn't use him.
LDS.
He's gone for the whole season, ACL injury.
Yeah,
We
he's injured. He
won't
can't
see
even
him.
move him, so he stays on the team as a result. Walgani.
Walgani stays. I don't see anyone buying Walgani.
Yeah.
Bremer, obviously Bremer
stays.
is your anchor, so he stays.
Gatti stays.
Gatti, besides getting absolutely cooked by Giroud for that header. Frankie, I know you're watching.
Sule. He probably stays. He might get
Sule's a
loan, but
defender?
yeah, that's not right. That's
That's
whatever.
not right.
He's a midfielder,
I think
but-
Sule. No, I think Sule stays.
I'm going there, but you never know. I think he definitely does stay, though. He's got the quality.
All right. So Di Maria gone.
Gone.
Paredes gone.
Stays.
Pogba stays. Rabiot is gone.
Stays.
Locatelli stays.
Maybe alone.
Maybe alone.
Probably alone.
100% alone.
Probably alone.
Alone as well.
Stays.
I think Illing stays. So that's like what, 4 players?
And Rovella would come in there as well.
Yeah. And then
Milik is up in the air.
I think he's gone. I think he's 65, 70% gone.
Yeah, off to Lazio. That'd be interesting if going back to the midfield, if an SMS goes in there, there's also Fratesi. I don't know.
Dusan,
I think he's gone.
Yeah, I think he's
Passion.
gone.
Even at 70, you even have to take a bit of
Give me 60 and I will sell him. I will walk him to the airport.
Moisey is apparently up for good offers. So what's a good offer? How much is he worth to
30 to 35?
You think just make your money back on it?
Yeah, you would have to.
Now, it really depends. Now, I heard today, again, sources, Scamacca is interested in coming back to Juve or Italy and wants Juve. Yeah. So that'd be interesting.
Keane and
I think if you sell Keane, well, okay, so that's the question. If you get rid of all 3 of them,
I don't think Keane moves.
I don't think he does.
I don't think Keane moves. I think Keane's the only one that stays. And then
so you have to keep either Milik or Keane. One of them has to stay.
Yeah. Milik or Keane, those are the one of the 2 that I think are going to be staying. Because the thing is like this is me kind of thinking ahead. I think the club sells Vlahovic, and then they bring in Scamacca, and then they also bring in Morata. As crazy as that sounds.
No, we've talked about it. And now Monblano said 3%
for Morata.
Yeah, but that's Monblano just having fun.
Yeah, he's just throwing out random numbers there. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because Morata's going to be ridiculously cheap.
Yeah,
I'm not advocating for the move. So like,
you look at him. No, you give him a look. If you're not playing in Europe, you got to play 1, maybe 2 games a week.
So
you're only playing.
I mean, we had Alessandro Matri and Quagliarella, like an older Quagliarella, for that one season. So
KB doesn't want Kostic or Milik.
I know. I can't believe I made a shirt off that damn guy. Damn.
Zaccaria, Melo, and McKennie are coming.
So
back
so speaking of McKennie, so he got subbed off because he played like shit today with Leeds, and a bunch of people are calling him a fat pig. Go back to Juve, you fat pig.
Oh no.
That was literally what they were chanting.
Oh no.
Keane. My only thing that pisses me off is I wish Leeds triggered the buy option because we would have got 38 million for him.
Yeah, they're relegated.
Yeah, now we're not going to sell him for 20. We'd be lucky to sell him for 20. That's so frustrating.
Hard luck. Yeah, it's a hard luck.
So frustrating.
We'll see what happens
because he played terrible at Leeds.
Zaccaria isn't the worst though, mind you.
I don't, because the thing is with him, with Big Zach, is we have essentially a window per se, because like for example we only paid 5 million for him.
Yeah, so it depends. If you get the money, you just get rid of them.
If you get 10, 15, it's still a win. It's not a great win, but it's a win. Or 20. Part of me thinks because Rabiot is gone, and then also Moretti is gone.
You need that type of player.
You need a box to box enforcer that Zach could possibly be.
Mhm.
I say you try him in preseason, and if he doesn't work, you ship him out in the end of August. If he does, great. If he doesn't, adios. Because that's my thing. I think evaluating Big Zach in the summer is worth doing it right now, just because of the options that we have. So I think having him in there, and obviously with a coach that if he has to suit the coach that's coming in, because I think we all agree. I think Allegri's probably out the door, right?
Most likely. Like
I
if he
would
was to win
90.
if he
Let's
was
say
to win today and next week and kind of recover a bit,
I
I
think he
think
would have been a
maybe,
lock. I think he would have been a lock for
but
next season if he qualified in fourth. But
at this point, I
I
can't. I have nothing left to defend him with.
the thing is like, so like, for example, if I'm Elkin and like, look, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys, because like, again, I was one of those guys that said don't sack him, don't sack him, don't sack him. It doesn't make sense during the season, where it's like right now after. And I told you guys back then, I said let me evaluate at the end of the season, and I can give you a better answer instead of an emotional response. So the thing is like, you look at games in the clutch. So like, for example, the Empoli game, the Milan game, and the Sevilla game. These last 3 games were critical games or important games, and we lost all of them. Not draws, we lost them. So for me, that's where I'm looking at it, and I'm like, all right, dude, not good, because the opportunity was April was terrible, but at the same time, you're like, okay, great, we can salvage something good, and then he absolutely just flopped it. And then, all right, yes, they are. Big Mac is in terrible form. Kulusevski is in terrible form. Zakaria is atrocious. I don't even think he's played. Same thing with Artur as well. That is the problem. Because again, McKennie coming back with the terrible form that he had at Leeds, very difficult. He's going to be very difficult to move. I would be shocked if we're able to sell Zakaria, McKennie, and Artur, all 3 of them. I doubt all 3 of them go. I think one of those 3 stays on the roster, just because there's no way that we can move them without taking a critical loss. Or the new coach and director think that they fit in with the project that they're doing. That's going to be really the only leeway that you have with the 2. Giovanni saying Chiesa didn't score 2 goals like I said he would. I know it sucks, unfortunately. KB is asking, who do you guys want to change if you can only change one, sporting director or coach? I think sporting director is way more critical than coach. Like, I think it is. Because that's essentially players, the system, what you're bringing in. Everything essentially revolves around the sporting director's vision, in my opinion. So, like, for example, a great sporting director will tell his coach, hey, what kind of play style do you want to play? And let me see if I can get you what you need. That is a great director and coach tandem. So, like, for example, if I'm an offensive-minded sporting director that wants, sell the club with attractive football, I look at a coach that does it, and then I sit down with the coach and say, hey, we both see the same vision. What players do you want me to look at? What players do you like that I should evaluate? So I think sporting director is a big one in my opinion. It's more crucial than the coach itself. Bowen says, I think we can get McKennie into a good form again. My problem with McKennie is outside of headers in the box, he doesn't offer you much.
He's got a really long throw.
He's got a very long throw in. And then Ari says, sporting director wouldn't be a change as we don't have one. Well, I mean,
It's a change from nothing.
it's a change from nothing. Glass half empty, glass half full,
I
as
mean,
we would say there.
That's
But the
at
thing
that
is,
point.
where you see the change though, more say, kind of to explain that, is you'll see it when, again, I come in, say that I'm your new sporting director. I say, okay, great. This is what I want to run. This is how I want to run it. And this is what the pieces I'm going to go for. If the boards, and the thing is, and this is where Juve's board has to be critical in this, don't get in the sporting director's way.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one
Let
thing.
him cook.
Let him cook. If he fails, you fire him. It's as simple as that. I would say you give a sporting director a 2 or 3 year project, or a contract. I'm sorry, 2 to 3 years. So then you can cut ties and then reset if you need to. Because like the thing is like, and I know some folks were like, oh, we're entering a banter era. I don't believe so. Like, for example, AC and Inter Milan were a banter era because they couldn't get their shit sorted for 10 years. I think we have more capability, more talent, more everything that they did for those 10, 12 years. Because, like, for example, we have a young pipeline.
That is huge, actually.
For example, Inter, for those 10 years that they've been banters, they were just banking in on players, hoping they can change the world, essentially. Same thing with Milan as well. Milan really only got some decent continuity was when Pioli came in and just started playing the young players and giving them some hope there. So it's one of those things where you look at that. And then Ari says, who's my favorite sporting director?
Iglitari for you. Is your
I like Iglitari. I do. I like him a lot, but he's going to Germany, so that kind of sucks. So he's leaving Lazio and he's going to a German club. But for me, I like a sporting director. Like, for example, Morata is a good one from Inter, obviously, but that's, again, recency bias. But I'll give you my favorite traits in a sporting director. My favorite traits in a sporting director is a sporting director that's able to spot out young prospects that are great in general so you can lock them up. Because the thing is like, a great sporting director can bring in 6 players that are worth 50K each or 500K each. And then some of them grow up to be sellable for 10, 15 million. And others are some that you keep on the team. That to me is a great sporting director because you're able to bring in talent to keep the talent on the roster and then flip any extra stuff for some extra revenue or some extra cash. Because a sporting director that's able to sell players, in my opinion, is a great sporting director. Obviously, that's just looking at it from the financial side. When you're looking at it from a technical standpoint, the sporting director needs to figure out what kind of philosophy that the club board wants for the team itself, and then being able to correctly select a manager that fits that. So, like, for example, the one thing I'll give Giuntoli some credit for is that he looked at Luciano Spalletti and said, okay, this guy can actually make this system work because Napoli wants to play possession offensive football. Spalletti does do that, as a lot of people don't believe it, but Spalletti can do that. So Giuntoli said, okay, I don't want anything flashy. I don't want any sexy names like an Ancelotti or something like that. I need something that a coach who has tactics, that understands the guys that we have on the roster. So he picked Spalletti, gave Spalletti 2 years. Spalletti won the Scudetto.
So I did get the press conference if we want to go over it.
Is there anything good?
I didn't read. There's a lot of reading. Do we care? Or do you just want to?
It's up to you.
We got to go over it tomorrow on the Twitch anyway. So let's save it for the Twitch because we're going to have to figure out how to do an hour and a half of Twitch tomorrow.
Of angry.
With a bunch of Italians yelling at us.
I know. But the thing is, it's like, for example, for Juve, I think an Iglitari, I think a Giuntoli is good. Because, like, for example, if you look at Beppe Morata, he was at Sampdoria before he came over to Juve. So a good mid-table sporting director that understands how to bring players in, sell players as well, because the one thing that Manchester City, and Giovanni says I'm joining just to yell at you.
Nice.
That's
I gotta
fine.
Check on my dogs again. Hold on.
Yeah, no problem. But the thing is like, for example, I'll say this about Man City. Man City sporting director is an absolute mad lad. Yes, he has unlimited funds. Hear me out. So he has unlimited funds to buy whoever he wants. But have you guys noticed that he sells Man City players for an outrageous amount of money? Like, for example, Leroy Sané for near 100 million. There was that one Fernan Torres, I think, that he sold to Barcelona for 60. And then Joe Cancelo for a capability, nearly selling him for 50 to 60 million euros. That's one of those things where, like, for example, you look at Man City sporting director, and if you watched All or Nothing, the thing is like, for example, you look at All or Nothing and how Man City ran their organization, their sporting director would sit with Pep Guardiola and say, hey, what pieces do we need to be successful? What can I get you? And what do we need to move to get there? and it's an open conversation. It's an open dialogue between the manager and the director. So Guardiola and their sporting director talk, and I think that's critical, because if you can get on the same page with your sporting director, you're able to do stuff. You're able to cook. And that's one of the reasons why I respect Man City's sporting director. Yes, they have unlimited funds from the Sheik. I understand that argument. But at the same time, Man City is selling players for a ridiculous amount. Like,
They
I
don't
mean,
pull a PSG at the very least.
yeah, they don't pull a PSG. PSG buys players, but they don't sell them for anything. Man City buys them and also still sells them for a lot of money. So
Giovanni, yes.
I think 100% Dusan, we got fleeced.
Yeah.
By Kumiso. It was funny because, again, Paramount Plus commentators were saying, I think Kumiso did the heist of the century. The reason why I say Dusan was we overpaid for Dusan is the thing is if you're paying, and if Misak was awake, he would literally go into paragraphs for this. But the thing is if you're paying 85 million for a striker, he needs to be able to finish with both feet.
Both of them.
Be able to do more than just a step over for his dribble, to be able to build up play. The thing is like Dusan is good. I'm not saying that Dusan is terrible. But
He's
the
not
price
worth
tag,
85 million.
he's not worth 85 million in my opinion.
Absolutely
Because the
not.
production, because like, for example, we can sit here and we can argue about, his Serie A credentials for, with Fiorentina and yada 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 and all that stuff. Yeah, but the thing is like you look at an Italiano. And Misak, if you guys watched the video yesterday, he literally says it's cross and Inshallah. Like, if you look at and you watch how Fiorentina played the season that Dusan was there, 15, 20 balls into the box, and whatever he gets, he gets. Because if you look at his expected goal, his goal numbers and his conversion, it's just it wasn't to the point where you're at that price. And yeah, Giovanni, he didn't perform like we all wanted him to, and I think that's why a lot of people were kind of still holding out hope for him. Where it's just like everyone's like, come on, because like we hoped for it, but it doesn't happen. And there's times where Juve, you sign busts. It's normal. I mean, Bernardeschi is in theory a bust, not for Toronto, but for Juve.
He got benched last night.
He did.
Yeah, he was vaping on the ground, so they benched him.
He vapes.
I guess.
What a goon. Ari
Dude,
saying allegedly Spalletti asked to leave Napoli too. Do you see him and Giuntoli at Juve? So
Spalletti can't. He has to take a year
sabbatical,
and he is taking a year sabbatical.
He's taking a year off to stay with his duck, but the thing is Spalletti has a non-compete clause, so he can't come next season, even if we wanted him to. But yeah, so the problem is also ADL essentially let Spalletti go, but he's not letting Giuntoli go. So
because of the non-compete with Spalletti, that's I think the only reason. And hold on, this just came in too. This is such an ADL response. Let me pull it up. ADL revealed that the future of Luciano Spalletti. Spalletti is a free man. He came and told me that he gave his maximum and that a cycle was over. He told me he has a contract, but he would prefer to have a sabbatical year. How can I say no? He gave me so much, and I thank him for that. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah.
He's such
flag
a
on the play.
He's such a goon. See, De Laurentiis is such a goon. Like, he's the most entertaining president. I hate the guy, but he's such an entertaining president. Like, he is the definition of a goon.
Yeah, he's definitely a goon. Oh man, I wish we didn't have. I didn't want to have these conversations tonight. We're beating the living Christ out of this horse, and we will continue to beat this horse for the coming weeks. I don't know how long do we want to beat it tonight?
I say we wrap things up in like a minute or two. I
usually only need 30 seconds to beat it. It's already been 48 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Because like, to be honest with you, there's nothing in the game. This game was terrible. Like, here, I'll talk about the game briefly, and I'll just do it just so, because ironically this is the Milan post game show, but like
allegedly, sure.
Allegedly,
but what does it even matter?
We didn't say anything about it. Translation, that was the most lethargic game I've ever seen in my life. None of the teams literally wanted it. It was just whoever got one goal, they'd just be like, all right, cool, deuces. Because like the thing is, Milan scored, and then Juve is like, all right, cool, see you guys in Ibiza in 2 weeks. They're gonna go on vacation. Like that's honestly what it was. Like
Yeah.
it was. It just.
I'm gonna take my $7 million and go fuck yourself somewhere.
I know, but like the thing is like I feel bad for the people that were doing the protests. They bought tickets to this.
Yeah.
And they were probably inflated too because it was Juventus Milan. So could you? I feel so like Kevin even said at the beginning. I feel so bad for the people that spent $200 plus for that.
Travel across the world. Yeah, I know.
That
It's
is
nuts. It's
unfortunate.
crazy.
Like,
All right.
Oh my goodness, that was just terrible. KB, we're gonna talk about it tomorrow.
There's a lot. It's really there's like a wall of text going on, so it wouldn't be right for me to hear. Like, okay, class, come together as I read these 20 slides off the screen. That kind of it'd be no. Do it tomorrow.
If you want, Dave, I'll make Dave post it on the Discord. You could just.
I could. Yeah.
Good.
Why not? I can do that. Sure.
Scan the Discord code too. Join the Discord where we have a bunch of banter. Yeah, it's really cool. It's.
And then tomorrow, when we're actually going to talk about it, KB. You can just show up tomorrow when we talk about it on the Twitch. So yes, Giovanni, I expect you to be there yelling at me in Italian, along with everyone else.
But speaking of which, welcome to the family, Giovanni.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I know. Welcome to the group, man. Like, appreciate it. Well, I'll probably poke you. I'll poke you about Buffalo Bills stuff once football season starts. So, yeah, just officially welcome to the family. Welcome to the TG family. So,
it's not huge, but it's good.
Expecting you to join our Discord. Ari wants to know if Dave's in Canada. I'm in the United States.
Can't you tell by my red plaid?
Yeah. Again, guys, we're going to wrap this up here. Join the Discord if you guys want to get into more conversation. You'll see our regulars, KB, Misak, Bones as well. I think Bones is in the Discord.
Frankie, Peepo, once in a while when he figures out how it works.
Yeah.
And yes, like and subscribe. I have to put the banner up because I always forget. So hit that, the bell icon, the thumbs up button. Just hit all the buttons. Hit all the buttons. It's good. Even if you hit the wrong one, it's good.
Bones is here. He's like, I hear. I hear. Bones is like laying in the shadows because Bones is like, what the F did I just watch for the last 2 hours? I feel bad for Bones. But all right, everybody.
Game over. Yeah, it's game over. You know what?
Memorial Day, Ari.
It's not game over until
the
music plays. Come on.
Wait, did I just call myself a fat lady?
Yeah, you are. All right, fat lady, take it away.
Alrighty. So, program updates, everybody. So, some housekeeping schedule here. So, again, guys, obviously, like, subscribe, yada, 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 all the boring BS. Monday, we'll be on Twitch on the Juve channel doing a recap of that. One more talk Juve, and we're done for the season. Tuesday, we have the Marseille podcast collaborating with us for a live show.
Oh, yes. That's huge. Tuesday.
Huge on Tuesday. So we're going to be talking with the Marseille because we want to talk about Tudor, and they know a lot about Tudor, so they're going to talk to us about that. And then we're also going to probably be on Thursday. I don't know. We might have a guest for Thursday. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
We'll figure that out. And then again, remember, guys, Saturday is our call-in show. We always do a Saturday evening call-in show. So that is where we throw up topics. You guys call in. Usually Masak calls in. We want to see more people on here.
Everyone, we want to see you all.
Yeah, again, you don't need to pay a membership or any corny baloney BS to join in for call-ins.
Corny baloney.
Corny baloney, guys. But thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace out. Forza Juve. Love you all.